We're taking a summer sabbatical while we wait for the arrival of Armondi's bundle of joy. Join us this fall as Armondi the Millennial becomes Armondi the Dad. In the meantime, we revisit some of our favorite interviews. We begin this special series with our very first guest, my wife and Armondi's mom, Anita. Originally posted 5 years ago on August 12, 2020, in response to the social justice events surrounding George Floyd, Anita shares her experience of raising a black male in the climate of excessive policing. I guess we have now a mother's perspective as it pertains to Black Lives Matter. Right, Mom?
Yes, yes.
And she can't say more than just yes.
Yeah. That's not the only word. That's not the only thing she knows how to say, guys. I promise.
It's like...
Yeah. It's a very stressful time for mothers.
Okay.
Is that all you have to say? Or is that like, I mean, we know this, but do you want to talk about why it's stressful? Do you want to, I mean, you know, what's on your mind?
Yeah.
Speak your mind.
Speak your mind. You don't have a problem doing that when we're not on.
That's facts.
On the mic. So.
Well, you know, it just feels like I remember people talking about how it was in the early days when you had to worry about your children leaving home and possibly not making it back safely, and the worries and the anxiety that mothers had when their sons and daughters, black sons and daughters in America, would leave home on the way to the store to get flour or on the way to school or whatever. And you had to worry about whether or not they would get stopped along the way before they made it back home, whether they get lynched, whether they get picked up, beat up, who knows? And here it is, 2020, and black mothers still have those worries. So it's still a very stressful time for mothers.
And fathers, too.
Yeah. Thanks for letting us know you care.
Yeah, but you're right. I think that, you know, you watch all of these movies and stuff like back in the 50s and the 60s, movies about civil rights and just movies about race relations. And, you know, there's always that scene of the black man walking down the street and the sheriff pulls up and rolls down his window and asking where you going, boy? And that still happens today. And I think this movement hopefully will get us closer to eradicating some of that and really holding law enforcement and others accountable for doing these kinds of things. Don't you think?
I don't know. It just seems like some things have changed and then some things haven't.
So what's a mother to do?
That's a good question.
I guess just pray.
Pray. I mean, if it were not for prayer, sometimes the fear would paralyze you. So, yeah, what's a mother to do? A mother's to pray and try and educate their children as best they can and how to navigate those spaces and those kinds of situations so that they do make it home safely.
Yeah, and let me just say that, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I will say that I think you guys have done a very good job of making sure that when I, like you, telling me the right things to do if I go out, if I get stopped. Don't go out wearing this. Don't drive around like this. Just to be cautious. And I think that it's important for parents nowadays to have that conversation. And it's sad that they have to have that conversation with their kids, right? But it's important, you know, parents, if you sit down with your children and talk to them about the harsh reality of what's going on with police brutality in this country and underlying racism and all of these different things, if you sit down and you have a conversation with them, you're able to prepare them for, you know, situations that may arise. They know what to look out for. They know how to be cautious, how to be careful. And I think that's important because it could save a life at the end of the day. So I want to thank you guys, you know, for being very proactive in that sense. And I know sometimes that, you know, when you say it over and over again, it's like, okay, I get it. That's just me being a millennial as well. It's like, yeah, I understand, but I do, you know, want to thank you guys because I feel like when I go out, I feel safer when I listen to the things that you say. That doesn't mean that I'm completely safe, of course, obviously. Right. So, but I do commend you guys for being parents who are real, who you guys have always been real with me, I think. And that's one of the things that I love about you guys, but especially with this issue because it could save my life one day and you never know.
And let me just say, for those of you who are out there listening who are not cognizant of privilege or acknowledge privilege, to not have to have those kinds of conversations with your children when they leave home and not those kind of worries, that is privilege.
You heard
well
it here.
Said.
You're right. You heard it here first, folks.
We also understand and we appreciate the fact that you do listen to us, that you do take what we say seriously.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm no longer a teenager, so I don't feel like I have to rebel. I never felt like I had to rebel, but it's one of those things where it's like when you're a teenager, your parents tell you things and it's like, yeah, okay, yeah. Or you may complain and you don't understand why they're telling you to do these things or not do these things. And then as you get older, you realize, oh yeah, because you just want what's best for me. So
I do have something to say. Let me talk about the challenge of raising a child who's used to opening doors and being a helping person, to have to raise that child to realize that what they intend to be a helping gesture and a polite gesture can be misconstrued and cause them their life. To reach and open a door, to reach over someone, to hold the door, personal space of other people. It is a real challenge to try and raise a gentleman these days when you know that gentlemanly expression could cost them their life.
Yeah, nowadays and things are so politically charged and so polarized that, people leave home with chips on their shoulders, people driving with chips on their shoulders, people just breathing and inhaling with chips on their shoulders. So anything, they're already ready to react. And unfortunately, a lot of times react more violently than in the good old days, instead of you reaching for a door to help somebody as they go through and they're a little startled, now they could be, reaching in their purse for a Glock or something. So, it's just, it is something that, like I said, we just have to continue to pray and I think continue to relay the message of being careful, of getting stopped, just be respectful, just do the best you can and come home alive.
yeah, I agree. She normally has a lot to say about this type of thing off
She really
mic,
does.
but again, we're easing her into it. So
just hang with us. And yeah, maybe we should have recorded this from like our bed because
then it would have been candid. It would have just been like
Right.
everything just all out there, Yeah, I just have one thing to say. Okay, I just have a few things to say.
Right. Well, we know the real deal. So anyway, what month is this? I'm trying to.
Right. Like,
Oh my goodness, is it August?
It's August.
Okay, the trees haven't started turning yet, but school's back
yeah, that is facts.
in the state of Georgia. School is back and COVID is whack. It's like,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that you guys had to hear that.
Wait a minute.
I apologize.
This is coming from the guy that says, back at it like a crack addict.
Hey, we back at it like a crack at it.
All right, you're going to get on me, right? But anyway, state of Georgia, where we pioneer in just forgetting that there is a virus. So we just open our schools. Not all schools. Schools in the metro Atlanta area are virtual, which is great. The AU Center schools, Morehouse, Clark Atlanta, Spelman, virtual for the semester. But there are schools going back. There are some schools even in the state of Georgia, in Randolph County, that have kids going back and like masks are optional. Like,
yeah, that makes no sense.
It's just
That makes absolutely no sense.
And you know what's really bad? I just thought of the fact that what's the doctor's name on CNN? Gupta. Sanjay's kids go to school in Atlanta, so he's on CNN like
Stressed. He's stressed.
He's stressed, and he's got to mention that every time he's on. Well, I've got kids in Atlanta, and they're going back to school, and and they're not doing this and that. So we're always in the forefront of not doing the right thing.
Yeah, I feel like this was a dumb decision in the first place because there are adults who do not wear masks. There are adults who don't know how to be safe during this pandemic. And you really think that a child is going to always wear a mask, not touch other things, not touch other people? Like they're kids. They're gross.
Yeah, and speaking of adults, we lost another black man to this virus. Is Herman Cain. You don't know Herman Cain, do you?
I don't know Herman Cain.
He ran Godfather's Pizza. He was a well-known entrepreneur, but he also ran for president in, 2008? I think when Obama was running. He was running on the Republican side. He is a Republican. But, he went to the rally in Arizona to see Trump. And they've got a picture of him, no mask. He got the COVID and unfortunately passed away on the day of John Lewis's funeral. So talk about kids, you've got adults that just don't seem
Well,
to get it.
it is very unfortunate that has happened.
It is. I mean, it is. We don't want to see anybody lose their life to this or anything. But it's just, I walked into a store last week, and they've got all these signs posted on the front of the door. You must wear a mask. If you don't have one, we will provide one for you. So I'm masked up. I'm like, okay, cool. This is great, right? I open the door. Nobody in the store. I mean, this is a small store. Nobody in the store has a mask, including the people that work there. And so when I walked in with a mask, they all looked at me like I was from some other planet. And I'm like, the guy said, well, can I help you? And I'm like, no, you can't help me. And I turned right around and left because who wants to be in that situation?
Right.
And that stuff they're putting on the door is just, that's just a facade. It's just to let people, just in case.
Yeah, it's to make you think that it's safe, but it's really not.
Yeah. And it's like, well, maybe people won't notice that we're not wearing masks. I'm like, come on, man, it's crazy.
Well, what I want to know, back to school, in what world is it okay for you to have the expectation that teachers are going to put their lives on the line to teach your children?
Yeah.
When you don't want to be bothered with your children. So
Yeah.
what makes you think that, they want to be in the classroom trying to teach your children, risking their lives and the lives of their families?
And that's facts. I have quite a few friends who are teachers. Greg,
That's right.
Jade.
Is Greg going back to school?
Greg, Jade, and Ryan are all going back to school.
In class.
I think they're doing some weird thing where it's like they have some students on 2 days a week, the other students on the other 2 days a week, and then do virtual school 1 day a week. I don't know. It's really weird, but
they are going in class.
Yeah, I believe last time I talked to Greg, that was the plan, but I don't know if anything has changed.
Well, how does he feel about that? I mean, what does he say?
It's one of those things where obviously they would rather be safe. He would rather be safe, and at the same time he has to work. But I think it would be a lot easier if they just did school virtually, because then you can still work and it's a lot safer. I don't know if they're going to follow through with going back to school or not, or if it's going to be one of those things where it's like, okay, we're going to do this until somebody
contracts it.
Right, which, let's be honest, I mean, even a school here in Georgia, on the first day, somebody was positive. Like, I don't know what you thought was going to happen. So...
And it doesn't sound like a good succession plan to me when we already needed teachers. Every district is already short of teachers. And now you're going to kill them off. So how's that going to help?
Yeah, I think teachers should be paid more. That's just on me.
Well, you definitely don't pay them enough to put their lives on the front line.
That's facts.
Yeah. There are some positive things that are happening as we talk about corona. There's a vaccine. As a matter of fact, the first person to get the trial, the trial 3 or whatever it is, they've got 30,000 people, right? 15,000 get the vaccine, 15,000 gets a placebo. And the first shot was in Savannah, Georgia, my hometown.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was a news anchor. It was a black news anchor.
Did she get the placebo?
I don't know. She's still on TV. So she
probably asked for the placebo.
Right.
Yeah, she's still alive. So I guess we'll wait and see what happens.
I know everybody's like, but it's a great ratings thing because everybody's tuning in to see what happens. Right?
Everybody's tuning in to see if it's when she kicks the bucket, right?
Like, does she look kind of woozy or
right? Is her skin getting pale? Is she coughing? Right.
So anyway, that's happening, and they're doing trials. I read somewhere just the other day, in the paper, that they're doing trials in nursing homes. Oh, that's really smart.
Oh, that's like a double whammy, right?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, so you're going to go into nursing homes and give people a vaccine to test it to see if it works or not.
Vulnerable people.
Some of them, and who's going to give a clearance for that? Their family member? I mean, how do you even choose who gets the vaccine in a situation like that? So I think a lot of things are happening as a rush to find a vaccine. They better look at some of these movies where the vaccines mutate and all of that, and we all turn into zombies.
Yeah, I know. I think it's weird because, they're trying to hurry up and make this vaccine, and I mean, for good reason, but with other vaccines, it's taken like 5 years to make a vaccine. So I don't know if I trust the vaccine for COVID as soon as it comes out.
Well, let's take a poll. How many here are going to take the vaccine?
Well, let me just say, I heard one pharmaceutical company say that they were providing some large amount of vaccines to the most vulnerable communities. Well, guess what, guys? That'd be us. And I don't think, while I'm still trying to convince you that Black Lives Matter, that I'm going to be standing in line first to get the trial vaccine.
Yeah, that's going to be a thing. Even when the vaccine is here, black folk
Miss me with that one.
Not going to be running to get that. If you don't get the vaccine and you really got issues with this quarantine and COVID, they're also working on an aerosol, a spray, like, you spray up your nose. That's an antidepressant.
For mental health.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and if you have suicidal thoughts, you can now just spray up your nose and it supposedly will work instantly. And so that's going to be real interesting. And that one is already gone through trials, so that's going to be on the market at some point soon. That along with mobile liquor sales in the state of Georgia. So now you can order.
Now you can get liquor DoorDashed to you.
Right.
Wait, we can't get a mask mandate, but we can get mobile liquor sales?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They lobbied hard for that one. So call up, get you some Jack Daniels, and,
enjoy the rest of quarantine.
Right. And if you get depressed, you can get your
nasal spray and you're good to go. You know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of crazy. What if they just spent more time trying to figure out how can we get people to cope with quarantine and be okay with this new way of life, as opposed to mandating masks and doing what they need to do to keep people safe and to get rid of this thing. You know what I mean? It seems like it's like, well, this is how your life can be easier in quarantine. I don't want that's great, but I'd rather not have to quarantine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's where we are. And as long as you can get liquor to your house, I guess it'll be all right.
I guess you'll live as long as you can, as long as you can get drunk, you're good. You know
I didn't even know it was August, so I'm like, it's like, just
all these days just kind of run together now. So
yeah. So what's on your mind outside of COVID? Because it is what it is. It's where we are.
I mean, every day is the same struggle. So big news in the news right now. Trump wants to ban TikTok.
Oh, no. How am I going to survive without my TikTok?
For those of you who do not know, I am actually not on TikTok. TikTok is funny. It is enjoyable. I watch the funny TikToks that make it to Twitter, but I don't have the app myself. I tried to make a TikTok one time and I failed, and I said this is not for me. So
I'm still trying to figure out. I don't have the app. I don't watch it or whatever. I know what it is. I know you can make money on TikTok. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're famous on TikTok, you're making up to $75,000 a post.
What?
Yeah.
But they did say that Microsoft is considering buying TikTok, the U.S. portion of TikTok.
Yeah, and that's the issue. I think it's from my understanding is that because TikTok is a Chinese-owned company, I think the reason why Trump is trying to ban it is because there's talks that, it gets
it's
people's
information
and stuff and leaking it to the Chinese, which, we all know Trump does not like. So,
but the Chinese already have that.
Yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying? You really think TikTok of all things is going to be the demise of everyone in the United States?
Yeah, they've got all the information they need to know on us.
Yeah, I think it's a little late for that. But to all the Gen Zers out there who are worried that your precious TikTok will be banned in the United States and you will never be able to use TikTok again, I have some good news for you. There's a nasal spray that you can spray up your nose for when you're depressed. So it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be all right.
You can listen to this entire episode and other Boomer and Millennial episodes on your favorite podcast platform or on our website at boomerandthemillennial.com. Now, if you haven't already, remember to subscribe and share. I'm Reggie the Boomer, and we'll be back at it you know the rest. Next month with a new episode and a new member of the Boomer and Millennial family. Until then, we're out. Peace.